Coming from Africa, I came here to better my life, and I feel like personally we need to stop using the word racism when we don't get something or when something don't go our way, and just
Let me
keep
jump
trying.
in real quick. No disrespect, but racism exists, and I have to acknowledge it. And I can't just ignore it, but what I can do is not buy into the system.
Not allowed to write. You had to first fight to become 3/5 of a citizen, then you got Jim Crow, and then you got everything else. It's like you're now having to buy in at a price so high because the time is irreparable. You can't get that back. One black person today cannot, in one lifetime, achieve what generations of white families were able to do simply because they didn't have to compete with us to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you totally.
Yeah, I was thinking, just like you said, from a historical standpoint, we start with slavery, then that's centuries, generations of stolen labor, like you said. Then we get into Jim Crow, which is just an extension of that. Then we have redlining, we have mass incarceration, we have events like the bombing of Tulsa and Rosewood in Florida, and all these different examples of our wealth being decimated. And I don't say that to come from a defeatist or a victim mindset, but I think if we just have an honest conversation about history and what we've gone through when we've been here, racism is definitely a big part of that. And there are a lot of successful Black Americans, a lot of millionaires, a lot of, business owners, but they're exceptions for sure for a reason. And there's a big difference between income and wealth. I would like to challenge the ideal that African Americans are lazy or that we don't have a good work ethic. I think there's this perception that, we're here, we're in America, how are we not doing better for ourselves? So.
And a lot of you foreign immigrants come over here pushing that narrative. Oh, us African immigrants are so much more intelligent. Why do we strive in your country? You came over here as an immigrant. We've been suffering from Jim Crow and redlining and segregation and being disparaged generationally. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between you fresh off the banana boat, getting a whole bunch of DACA programs and funding and shit. Come on, y'all. Y'all be getting sent over here with handouts.
I thought I was gonna be the only one staying. I was gonna be like, oh, I'm about to be like Kanye West, but okay, there's a lot of things we can use as an excuse to hold us back, to not to reach our potential. But it's up to us to look past that. Like me coming from Africa, I came here to better my life, my family. I'm the only one here. And since I have been here, there's a lot of bad things that happen to me. There's also a lot of good things that happen to me. Us African or African American, we need to look past racism and just focus on our own goal. Like, what do we want to achieve? We need to stop using the word racism when we don't get something or when
Oh boy, here we go with the tether babbling, y'all. We got some fucking fleers, some people who fled their homeland telling us that we need to stop using the word racism. Whenever we don't get our way, or we just cry and say it's racist. Shut your tether ass up. Gonna try to tell. Look at how the brother's looking at him. He look like he wanna slap him right now. What did you just tell me, African boy? You just told me that what? I can't talk about the racism I'm faced with, huh? Who?
something don't go our way, and just keep trying.
So let me jump in real quick. No disrespect, but racism exists, and I have to acknowledge it. And I can't just ignore it, but what I can do is not buy into the system. If I want to do something, let me be the entrepreneur. What I believe happened in the 1960s is that we started looking for equal rights, to be equal with other people. And what we stopped doing, and I heard you talk about Tulsa, we stopped using the Black-owned businesses. Now, because you guys got to understand, the Fair Housing Act in 1968, I'm 5 years old. That's when we could move off the east side of LA and move into other subcultures. So what I wanted to do at 8 years old was go to IHOP. I didn't want to go to the Ma and Pa restaurant anymore. I wanted to go to, let's go eat at the hotels. So what we did is stop supporting each other and started supporting corporate America. So the racism plays a major part, but we don't have to buy into it.
I've been waiting to disagree with you, my brother. I'm waiting patiently. The thing is, even though I want to disagree with you, I get where you're coming from. When I see Black people talking about racism, all that stuff, I'd be like, what is wrong with these people? You guys
Oh boy, come on, y'all, come on. We're just giving you a grand expose on how these tethers act and feel. Whenever they hear us banging against racism, they feel, what is wrong with you? What are you complaining about? You live with the white people like we wish we could.
have food, you have EBT, all this thing, and you're here shouting
We have EBT, y'all. This mush mouth ass African bro. Racism. It doesn't matter that you have racism. You have EBT card. You have EBT. What the fuck, bitch? Stop it.
about somebody is racist too. Just leave that person and move on. I feel that way. Like, why are they always like complaining? But when Black Lives Matters started happening, like, I sat down, I said, I need to actually know why these people are pained. And if we look at the history,
And yes, thank you, Restless Faye. Welfare was created for poor white families during the Great Depression. Do your research, people.
what they've done to them, like if you actually sit down, watch some documentaries, how they were maltreated, I don't think if I'm actually born, I will forgive those people. I don't care. It's easier for us Africans that were raised in Africa to feel like they're complaining because we were raised through struggle. Like I barely even have water, and you have water, you're complaining. But then it's not about the basic necessity or about how we are raised. We are raised like, I don't want to say way better. We might not have resources.
Oh my God, look at the African superiority complex. This broad is really gonna try to big up Africans and act like they are raised better when in the same breath she said they aren't even raised with running water. Ma'am, how are you raised without access to basic infrastructure, but at the same time you feel you were raised better than Black Americans? Oh my God, these motherfuckers think they're so superior, yet they flee their shithole of a country to come over here and live with us. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense.
It's like, I don't want to say way better. We might not have resources, but there are some way, like our own people will not look down on us or put us behind. So it's in their nurture that way. Like they just can't overlook it. And if you sit down and watch everything that the forefathers have been through for real, I changed my mind. No, they need to be angry. However, they should still move forward.
I mean, we have police brutality back home too.
True.
We have, like, if you go to Cameroon and then you see how the police officer treat us, and they're black just like us.
Yes, that's the difference. You motherfuckers are banging on each other. Y'all will have all black African police forces banging on y'all citizens. That's a big difference between what we're faced with. We're faced with actual white supremacist, racist ass white cops talking about don't step over the blue line and blue lives matter and blase, blase, blase. And y'all getting fucked up by your own people. But y'all mad at us when we bang on our racist oppressors? Okay.
You're not even gonna believe it, you know. And in Cameroon, we have this. Have you guys heard of the word like tribalism? So
Yeah, it happens in Nigeria.
yeah, so we do get oppressed too. And
I agree.
so when I'm saying like we need to like look past that, I'm not saying forget what happened to you guys or me. At the end of the day, we cannot just sit and just grieve on the past. We have to be able to move on, but not forget. If I could choose a place to live, it would obviously be my country. I love my country, but
Lying ass motherfucking fleeing tether. Sir, you don't live in your country. Listen to this fake ass African superiority complex. Oh, us black Americans are just lazy and we're complaining about racism and yada yada yada. And he's gonna talk about if there was any place in the world I'd live in my country. Sir, then why don't you? Why did you flee your homeland if you want to live there so bad?
forget. If I could choose a place to live, it would obviously be my country. I love my country, but right now, my country is not the best choice for me.
I want to live in my country, but you'll see, the thing about the matter is, my country just isn't really the best place for me to live. There's some things I don't want to talk about that are going on there, you know. But let's just say it's not a good place for me to reside. Oh.
Be able to move on, but not forget. If I could choose a place to live, it would obviously be my country. I love my country, but right now, my country is not the best choice for me. There's a little genocide going on in Cameroon right now. So many innocent lives.
Damn, he said there's a genocide going on in Cameroon right now. So when y'all wonder why these tethers are fleeing, it's because they have genocide in 2024, y'all. They are banging on each other. This ain't no white on black genocide. This is black on black, African on African genocide that they are fleeing from. But at the same time, earlier in the stream, they said they're raised better than us, right?
Being taken. If I was still in my country, the opportunity that I have here, I would not have those opportunity there.